Good morning, Vigor Vipers. Today we're going to be learning the ins and outs of soldering. So first, we're going to be going over what materials we'll be using today. A soldering iron is used to heat the connections to be soldered. For electronic circuits, you should be using a 25 to 40 watt soldering iron. This is going to be a soldering iron, which includes an iron, a stand, and a sponge. This particular soldering iron lets you control the temperature. Solder, which has a 1.8 flux. This solder has a lower melting point than metal that is being connected to. Solder or a wick braid. Helping hand. SparkFun's Weevil Eye comes with a Weevil Eye PCB, 2 red LEDs, a 47K ohm resistor, 1 miniature photocell, 1 20mm coin cell battery. What is soldering and when should you use it? Soldering is the process when two or more metal items are joined together by melting and they're flowing a filler metal into the joint, the filler metal having a relatively low melting point. Soldering is used to form a permanent connection between electronic components. The soldering iron can heat up to 400 degrees Celsius, which can burn you or start a fire, so use it carefully. Take great care to avoid touching the tip of the soldering iron on the power line. If the power cord is touched by a hot iron, there is serious risk of burns and electric shock. Always return the soldering iron to its stand when not in use in a well-ventilated area. The smoke that will come from when you melt solder is mostly from the flux, and it can be quite irritating, so go ahead and avoid breathing it by keeping your head to the side and not above your work. We're going to go ahead and get started off here. We're going to flip on the heating source, adjust our temperature accordingly. We're going to wet our tip of the iron on the sponge. We're going to clean the tip first. Make sure we're getting off all that excess gunk. Okay, you can see it's nice and shiny, ready to go. We're just going to tin the tip just a little bit to maintain it. We're going to start off with this 47K ohm resistor, and we have to make sure we bend the legs. Once we bend those little leggies, should look like this. We're going to go ahead and insert that into the PCB where it says 47K, just like that. We're going to bend the legs outward so they stay in place while we are soldering. Sometimes you'll have to do this if your parts aren't staying in place. Okay, and as we said, we're going to hold our tip and heat up both the leg and the metallic part of the PCB. And we're just going to heat it up for a few seconds and let the solder flow into the hole. Do the same to the other side. Make sure you don't touch the actual iron, you want to touch the component. And just let the solder flow in there nice and evenly. Once you have an even connection, you pull away the solder first, then the iron. And since I don't have my regular clippers, I'm just going to have to use this pliers to just clip off the excess legs. Just pop those right off. And then we're going to go ahead to the next resistors, the 220 ohm resistors. We're going to bend those legs. And then we're going to start with our next solder. Heat up the component, let the solder flow into the hole. Going to go ahead and let the solder flow into the hole as well right here. Heating it up just for a few seconds. Make sure you don't hold it in there for too long because you can damage your electrical components. Since these holes are so tiny too, it shouldn't take very much solder to fill these holes in. This is what it should look like from the top side, and underneath it looks like this. As you can see, the legs are a little long, a little spiky because I don't have my right trimmers. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next component, 2N3904 transistor. See, and then we're going to go ahead and orient this, and according to the little diagram on the PCB, on the Weevil PCB, as you can see, it's like a half circle. So we're going to make sure it's facing the right way, along the same way. As you can see here on the board, it shows the 3 holes, and then we're lining those up and putting in the PCB so the flat edge goes against the flat side where it's lined out, and then the round side goes towards the round side. In there, once we get it in, push it all the way through. Make sure it's as flush as you can get it. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this little solder, starting with the first hole on the left side. I'm gonna show you a little mistake here. So when solder clumps up like that and it creates a bridge across two connections, this is actually bad because it could mess up with your electrical current actually. So when you come through with that, you want to make sure you clean it up with a little solder wick just to absorb any extra solder. See, I'll show you right here. It created a bridge right there between one of the resistors and the transistor. I'm just gonna clean it up and it looks like this now, all a little bit more neater, a little nicer, making sure none of the little electronic components are touching. And then we're gonna go ahead and start off with the miniature photocell. Now what a photocell does is it's a sensor that allows you to detect light. So, you know, they're small, inexpensive, and low power. They're easy to use, so they don't really wear out. I'm just gonna go ahead and feed this one in there. Had a little tough time doing this one for some reason. Bend the legs outward slightly. Go ahead and fill in the hole with some solder to connect the electronic component to the PCB. Sometimes if it bulges up a little bit, you can just hold your iron there for a few seconds to let it flow into the hole and connect both pieces. Now you notice with the LED, one leg is shorter than the other. The shorter leg is the cathode and the longer leg is the anode, which the anode is the positive and the cathode is the negative. So you want to make sure you orient this correctly and put it through the right hole. It shows you on top there's a plus and a minus. Put the longer leg through the plus and the shorter leg through the minus. Should look like this once you get both LEDs soldered in. And then we're going to go ahead and move next to the battery holder. This will be going on the bottom, and as you can see there's one end for a negative flow and one end for the positive. Make sure that it is lined up correctly. A little bit of solder because the hole is not that big. And then we're going to just go ahead and put in the 20mm battery in here. Make sure the orientation is correct, that the positive sign is outside, and it should light up like this. And here is a closer detailed shot of your complete item. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day.